In this episode, Ash and Go continue training Farfetch'd. Hey, this is GatorEX, and it's time for episode 56 of Pokemon Journeys. This one is a pretty cool one. I did enjoy it because things start off with Ash and Go training themselves, fighting with leaks, getting some practice in, and at the same time, Farfetch'd is also training, as usual. So having a good Farfetch'd focused episode like this, not too long after the last one, I think is good because, with episodes that, so far at least, with episodes that maybe continue off of the other, they're not too far after the last ones. Obviously it might be cool if they were, one full arc like episode after the other, but regardless, I think this worked out still just fine. Actually, this might even work out better if there's more time. But regardless, they head over to the Galar region to train with Wickstrom in his Castle of Chivalry. And when they arrive there, he's, of course, very knightly and very eccentric too, when they're shown to be very interested in training. So they get their armor on, and Go brings Scyther as well, which I think is, pretty cool, because Scyther being more of, blade, sword, it makes sense for the whole knight thing. So they have to go through a few trials, and they're pretty interesting, all these trials, all these challenges. For one thing, the first one, I really did like the first one in the sense that they were told to run 10 laps around the castle, and they're thinking, okay, fine, this is easy. The armor's a little heavy, but that's fine. But are then stopped by a Probo Pass that magnetizes their armor. And I just think that's a great use of Probo Pass as well. I just like, when Pokemon are utilized in that way, in clever ways. Of course, Pikachu sitting back, not in armor, just watching everything. Of course, cheering them on, but thankfully not having to endure what they're doing. Again, because it's a little more focused on Go and Scyther, and then Ash and Farfetch'd. Of course, they power through this, and they move on to the next challenge, which is going through a maze, and Ash and Go get separated, so they're given a little more time with their Pokemon. Specifically, though, Ash and Farfetch'd. We do see Go and Scyther, going through the maze for a bit, encountering some Pokemon there, but most of the focus is on Ash and Farfetch'd, as Farfetch'd is still very much a lone wolf. Wickstrom even points that out, and it's to the point where even Farfetch'd just bashes right through one of the walls instead of trying to find some other way or whatever. But, it still kind of shows that Farfetch'd is a little like that. He wasn't as humbled as we like to think, after his loss to Gallade. But during this episode, Ash is still kind of talking to Farfetch'd about a rematch with Gallade. So that's obviously going to probably happen now that they're setting that up. Though we do see a little more development for Farfetch'd as a hole opens up and he falls through it, and Ash helps him, getting him out, and then even going back to get his giant leak. So Farfetch'd has a little more of this bond going on, or at least he's understanding it a little more, that he can't do this alone and that he needs help. So I think it's just good core to the episode, at least with that. But regardless, they all come through, and they come to the last challenge, which is a fight against Wickstrom and his Aegislash. Ash and Go are even given swords too, and so they're told to grab a key from Klefki, get to the end. Simple enough, right? But I do think it's interesting because now they were told that, it's working on the bond between them, as, they were going through this maze together, and then now they're at this point, they need to fight together. And they all, not just the two Pokemon, like the Pokemon and the trainer, but, all four of them all together. And so it's a pretty entertaining fight as well. And, we even see that Farfetch'd learns because they split up yet again. Ash is like, all right, cool, we'll take Wickstrom and Aegislash, you guys get the key. And Farfetch'd, it comes down to Farfetch'd handling his own against Aegislash, Ash against Wickstrom, but of course Ash, sword fighting against a knight, it's not exactly the best. But I think, we get this, final payoff with this good moment in Farfetch'd coming to save Ash, even taking a hit to the back from Aegislash and saving him, coming to his rescue. And so now we're seeing a little more of this bond, and they're able to beat them, get the key, beat them. Cool. And even to the point where Ash, after they get the key, he tells Farfetch'd to hold back. He doesn't have to keep fighting, and he listens to that. So I do like that we had the episode with Gallade, he's kind of knocked down a peg, and then now we get this episode where he learns more teamwork, and so it's kind of setting up that in the rematch against Gallade, he'll evolve from that battle, rather than evolving before then. Probably, you know, that's at least my prediction. But I did like it. I think this was a good episode, and you know, getting to see one of Ash's Pokemon at all is just good, because unfortunately we really don't get to see that a whole lot in the series. And I really wish we'd see that a lot more. We'd get more episodes like this, but you know, maybe one for each Pokemon as well. But regardless, it was a pretty cool episode. They complete the trial, they get the medals, and Wickstrom offers Go to help him evolve his Scizor into, or help him evolve Scyther into a Scizor, you know, with the metal coat. Makes sense, you know, being a steel type trainer, or steel type, you know, Pokemon user. So that's pretty cool. Go's got a Scizor now, and I think it's also great because, you know, Scyther was one of the Pokemon that Go used the most, aside from, you know, Cinderace and Sobble. Scyther was always like one of his, you know, one of his better Pokemon. So now seeing it evolve like this, and you know, them going through this challenge together, it's also a nice little bonus. But again, the main thing was Ash and Farfetch'd, which I did enjoy. I thought it was pretty neat. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you enjoy this episode? What are your thoughts on, say, Farfetch'd as a whole? And what would you like to see going forward, I guess, for some of Ash's other Pokemon? Would love to see more of Dragonite, honestly. Dracovish, because we haven't seen Dracovish since Ash caught it, so I just think that more like this would be much better for the series going forward. But if you'd also like to see me discuss other anime, I do talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s every week. The episodes come out a day later than Pokemon, but that's over on my anime channel. iCard, end card, description, all that. It's pretty cool, and if I'm being honest, I kind of like it better than Pokemon. But if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to show your support. You can enable notifications by clicking that bell icon next to the subscribe button. It'll make sure you see each new video as it comes out. Anyway, this has been GatorEX. Have a nice day.